Recognizes the Chair, Committee on Government Operations, Councilor Matt O'Malley, on docket 0726.
Thank you, Mr. President. I apologize. I may go over my allotted time. There's clear evidence, and I believe we're all in agreement, that we need to take action to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions and prepare for the inevitable impacts of climate change. The evidence further suggests that climate change can cause major weather events. Within the last 3 years, we've seen 3 substantial weather events: Hurricane Irene, Superstorm Sandy, and Winter Storm Nemo. These storms were devastating to cities and towns along the eastern seaboard. And compared to other cities, Boston was relatively lucky. Had Sandy hit 5 hours earlier during our high tide, it is likely that East Boston, the North End, downtown, and South Boston would have been flooded. Had Nemo hit 3 hours earlier, also during our high tide, the effects would also have been devastating. We must do our part to help stabilize global emissions and lead by example. That is why the city is taking aggressive action to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. In 2011, the mayor put out his Climate Action Plan, which set out greenhouse gas emission reduction goals for our city to hit 25% in 2020 and 80% in 2050. In the past several years, the city's policies and programs have also reflected our desire to reduce our carbon footprint. Indeed, this council has played a significant role as well. As I'm looking around this chamber, I know we've all authored or supported various ordinances and resolutions, from initiatives that would encourage more biking and cyclist safety, to mass transit support, to recycling in our parks and schools, to composting and urban farming, to having a resolution to commemorate Earth Hour, with our water filling station initiatives, to something as simple as getting rid of our biweekly payroll pay stub. Many of us have had free energy audits in our home, and all of us have encouraged our constituents to take advantage of the Renew Boston program. In ways large and small, we have all played a role in greening Boston and combating climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an opportunity today to effect change in perhaps the most meaningful way yet. I am asking you to support docket number 0726, the Building Energy Reporting and Disclosure Ordinance. This ordinance was submitted by the mayor on February 27th. A hearing was held on March 28th, and we had 2 subsequent working sessions, one on April 9th and the other on April 23rd. I called for rejection without prejudice at the April 24th meeting to allow for 2 more weeks of debate and discussion. I'm asking for a vote now. The objective of docket 0726 is to encourage energy efficiency and reduce greenhouse gas emissions by amending the current ordinance to require certain property owners and encouraging tenants to report annual energy use data to the Air Pollution Control Commission. This ordinance would apply to residential and non-residential buildings that are 35,000 square feet or more, or house 35 or more units. It would also apply to all city buildings. This is not a radical idea. New York City, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Seattle, San Francisco, and other major cities have enacted similar ordinances, often much more stringent. I believe that we've struck the right balance of what is fair, what is not too burdensome, and perhaps most importantly, what is right. Many members of the real estate community are wholly supportive of this ordinance. Many members are not. Through this process, I am proud to say that we've conducted an open, transparent, and fair process. Opponents of this bill have literally and figuratively had a seat at the table at our hearing and working sessions. They have been part of this conversation at the debate at the council level at every step of the way. And I know many of you, have met with every opponent and proponent who was asked to meet with us. As recently as last Thursday, I met with the chief opponents and solicited more feedback and suggestions. I have offered my own amendments to this bill, which I believe is fair, while protecting the laudable goals that we seek to meet. You may vote against this bill because you have a fundamental disagreement with what it seeks to do. That is your right. We were elected to make the tough decisions. But if your suggestion is that we water it down so that it's ineffective, or pursue a pilot program for 1,000 square foot buildings or more, we are defeating its purpose. I have offered more time, solicited more feedback, and offered more opportunities for change than most, and I believe that we've crafted a bill that is solid. Here's what this bill will do. It would require owners of large buildings, those that are over 35,000 square feet or have 35 units or more, to collect and publicly report their building's total energy and water usage each year. Those with the most inefficient buildings would conduct an energy assessment every 5 years. There are no fines for inaction or for actual energy performance. Fines are only for failure to provide required information, and those fines are capped. This ordinance would provide key information to owners, to residents, to prospective buyers and tenants, and spur energy efficient work. Increasing energy efficiency in existing buildings is the single most important component of the city's plans to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Here's what this bill will not do. No residential unit owners or tenants will be forced to share their utility information. No residential unit owners or tenants will be fined. There are no mandatory upgrades. This does not apply to small buildings. At the end of the day, this is about information. This is not about requiring action. We've seen what disclosing fuel economy in cars has done to improve mileage. What gets measured gets managed. In the City of Boston, 70% of our greenhouse gas emissions come from buildings. This ordinance provides information to the marketplace to encourage all cost-effective energy efficiency investments in the sector of Boston that has the greatest impact on climate change. There are approximately 165,000 buildings in the City of Boston. If passed, this ordinance would affect approximately 1,600 buildings. That's 1%. But that 1% represents 40% of the city's square footage. This ordinance would have a profound impact. Please join me in supporting it and building a better and a greener Boston. Thank you.